Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland, struggling against extreme odds, traveling dangerous trails, fighting the many enemies of nature. This is the job of the guardian of the forest, Ranger Bill. Pouring rain, freezing cold, blistering heat, snow, floods, bears, rattlesnakes, mountain lions. Yes, all this in exchange for the satisfaction and pride of a job well done. Boys and girls, have you ever been in a submarine? Or have you ever gotten inside a diver suit and gone down into the depths of the sea? I suppose not. After all, most of us are landlubbers, lake sailors at the best. But what would you do if you knew that a submarine was stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and meanwhile the crew was suffocating? Why, you'd try to get them out, of course. But the big question would be how to do it. Well, let's find out what Bill and the Rangers did in such a situation as that. Keep your ears glued to the radio for the story of 20 Fathoms Under the Sea.
Man, this blue oil really burns up the rails. I wonder how fast we're going, Bill.
I don't know, Henry. There's a stretch of track ahead where the engineer pushes her up to 93.
Wow, 93 miles an hour.
That's plenty fast in any man's book.
Yep. Just a little faster than I can run at high speed.
Oh, yeah. Hey, say, Bill, do we have to eat the fish we catch on this trip?
Well, that all depends on what kind of fish we catch, pal. Some ocean fish aren't edible, of course. Probably eat some of them.
Oh, I don't like fish that much. Not ocean fish, anyhow. Brook trout, yeah. But not even too much of them.
You don't know what's good for you, Henry. Fish good brain food. Make you plenty smart.
Oh, I don't believe that, Grey Wolf. Besides, even if it is true, there must be other kinds of brain food.
Yeah, there sure is, Sonny.
Huh? What other kind, Stumpy?
Noodle soup.
Oh, Stumpy.
You walked right into that one, pal, with both eyes open.
Yeah, mouth too.
I just wanted to show you young fellers that I'm still perkin'.
Bill, you seem to know Ben Benson pretty well. How come?
Well, Ben's an old salvage man, Grey Wolf. He's brought up some historic wrecks on the bottom of the sea in his time, including several maroon submarines. I got to know him when I was in the Navy.
Oh, is he retired now, Bill?
Well, yeah, sort of forced retirement, you might say, Henry.
What do you mean by that?
You see, Ben's son was accidentally killed during the salvage operation. Ben always felt he himself was responsible. So he quit the salvage game and bought himself a power launch to take fishing parties out on.
Rather a sad ending for the old gent. Does he show his sorrow, Bill?
No, not as a rule. He has times when he's very quiet, though, and he looks out to sea. I feel sorry for old Ben.
Dinner served in the dining car. Dinner served in the dining car. First call for dinner. Dining car, 4 cars forward.
Hey, that's what I've been waiting to hear all day. Let's go before my stomach leaves my body and goes by itself.
Come on, fellas, let's head for the chuck wagon before they run out of food. Then we can get ready to get off the train. Stops on this side of the bay at Harbor City, then it crosses over to the main station. Let us out right at the sign that says Ben Benson, Gabby.
Sure, mister. Anywhere you say.
This waterfront sure looks quaint, Bill. All the launch skippers along here must be old sea dogs, huh?
That's right, pal. Most of these men are retired seamen.
I guess there's some mighty tall sea yarns spun around these wharfs.
That'll be $2.50, mister.
All right. Here you are, friend? No, that's all right.
Oh, thanks, mister.
Come on, pal, let's go. Don't want to keep the cab standing any longer than necessary.
Sure, Bill, sure. I got my big feet tangled around the baggage. There. Now I'm able to move.
Hey, there's old Ben coming down the dock now.
He looked like a real sea dog. Him still walk with roll of ship.
You and he'll make good friends, Grey Wolf. Hello, Ben. Good to see you again.
Well, Bill, how are you? It does my salty eyes good to see you again.
Thanks, Ben. The same to you. Ben, I want you to meet 3 of my rangers. They're also my closest friends. Henry Scott, Grey Wolf, and Stumpy Jenkins. Fellas, I'd like you to meet Ben Benson.
Oh, hi, Ben.
Howdy there, Ben.
Well, it's mighty fine to meet you fellas. I see you have old men of the woods in your service, too, Bill. Stumpy's got quite a bit of moss on his north side.
Sure, we got old men in the woods. What do you sea dogs think? You ain't got no lease on old age. Just because you're preserved in salt water. I noticed quite a few barnacles in your hull, you old walrus.
Hey, Bill, maybe we better go home.
It's all right, pal. They got a twinkle in their eyes. They're talking to each other like ducks to water.
Glad to have you aboard, you old muskrat. I don't suppose you've ever been in anything larger than a rowboat.
Nope. Then I stay out of them as much as I can. I get all the water I want in the bathtub.
Oh, you're all right, Stumpy.
Yeah, you ain't so bad yourself, Ben.
Well, come on aboard the swordfish, fellas. Ain't no sense standing on the dock when you can stand on the decks of the best sea-going launch afloat.
When we shove off for fishing grounds, Ben.
Right at sundown, Grey Wolf. We'll be where the big fish are at dawn.
Mr. Jones, I gave the order to surface this craft. What are we waiting for?
Well, the engine room isn't responding, Captain Nagel. We've sounded the surfacing signal twice.
Well, are they sleeping back there?
I'll get them on the intercom. Let me have your headphones, Sandal. Hello, engine room. Well, what's the trouble down there? Can't you hear the signals?
Well, what do they say, Mr. Jones?
What? Are you sure? No, stand by while I tell the captain. Skipper, the ballast tank pumps have broken down and refuse to work.
Avast servicing and stand by. I'm going aft. Keep those headphones on for my orders, Jones.
Aye, aye, sir.
Well, Mr. Antonio, what's it look like inside the pump?
It looks bad, sir. The main rod's broken clean in two, and it tore the cylinder to shreds.
Can you fix it?
I sure can, Skipper, but with those gouges in the cylinder wall, I doubt if I can get enough compression to handle the ballast tanks.
What caused the break, Mr. Antonio? Weren't these pumps inspected before we put to sea?
They certainly were, sir. I inspected them myself. I'll see what I can do with the pumps.
Very well. Report to me on the bridge when they're repaired.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now hear this. Attention all hands. Now hear this. The captain's going to speak to the crew.
All right, men. Put your fears in your sea bags and listen to me. Most of you are green submariners, but I've gone through this before, and so have your trainers. Jones, McLaughlin, Antonio, Savage, Boyd, Prince, and the torpedomen. They've gone through this same experience, and they're still alive. Let's not get panicky. Remember an old axiom. He who loses his head may lose his life. Stand by for further announcement from the bosun.
Now hear this, men. The captain will inspect the ship at 1400.
Mr. Jones, I want you to keep the crew busy. Keep them working so hard they won't have time to get panicky. That's a direct order.
After you inspect the ship, what should I have them do, sir? Clean it again?
That's right, Mr. Jones. Even if they have to do it with toothbrushes. Your job is to keep the men busy. Let Mr. Antonio and his men worry about the pumps.
Mind if I join you, Ben?
Huh? Oh, no, of course not, Bill. I didn't hear you come on deck.
Saw you sitting out here from my cabin window. Thought I'd join your fellowship with the sea in the quiet of the night.
Oh, a fella can do a heap of thinking when there's just the sea and himself. But he's a good listener, Bill.
Yes, Ben. The sea never tells any secrets either. It just listens, keeps the confidence of her sailors, and hides their thoughts in the deepest waters.
I guess it's the sea that's kept me on an even keel since Frank died. Whenever I get depressed, I put out to sea and have a long talk with the Lord. I don't know if I'm right, but the Lord seems so much near out here.
Ben, when are you going to stop beating yourself for Frank's death?
I don't know, Bill. I keep hearing his last words. He kept calling for oxygen. Just can't seem to get them last few moments out of my mind.
But it was an accident, Ben. You couldn't help it if his line's fouled in the sunken wreck. Why put yourself on a shelf away from everybody? The world needs some good salvage men like you.
That's the way I want it, Bill. How can men put confidence in a salvage man who let his own son die under the water? I just couldn't have men depending on me for advice and guidance below the water. 10 fathoms down is an awful place to be trapped by an old fool who doesn't know what he's been doing, Bill. 15 fathoms is an intolerable place for it to happen.
No, I'm sorry, Ben. I didn't intend to get you all riled up. I guess I'll turn in now.
Wait a minute, Bill.
Yes, Ben?
It's done me good to get some of this off my chest. I know you understand.
Sure, Ben. I understand.
Grab him, Grey Wolf, before he falls overboard. We got him. No sense for us to fish for fish, and Henry, too.
Drop your reel now, Sonny, before you run out of line.
Take a couple of turns on your reel every time he gives you slack, Henry.
Hey, there's a fish. He just jumped out of the water. Boy, what a whale. Kind of small for a whale, Sonny. Maybe his mother didn't feed him when he was young.
You fellas help Henry get his fish aboard. Old Ben's upset about something. Want to find out what it is.
You go ahead, Bill. Henry got fish pretty well in hand now.
Ben, feeling all right?
Sure. Why? Do I look sickly?
No, but you're acting strangely. What's wrong?
I don't know, Bill. I just have the feeling that there's something going on under these waters.
Huh? What do you mean, Ben?
I can't explain it, Bill. I just got a feeling that there's trouble under this part of the sea. What'd you say we stop fishing for a while and cruise around? Perhaps we can spot something wrong.
Well, sure. I'll tell the fellas to haul in their lines, and you can get underway.